Okay, how's everybody feel? Are you doing good? Feel good about it? Okay, so I'm going to take my smaller brush now, and I'm going to kind of show you how you can do different types of fillers when you do your bouquets. After I show you the leaves and bouquets and we practice those, or the leaves and fillers, we practice those, I'll have you come up one more time and I'll kind of build one, and then you can finish off the rest of the time making your own. So, so for the leaves and the fillers, you're going to use your smaller brush, and then here's where we'll use a lot of the greens and blues and browns. So you're going to take your green. I like to mix with a little bit of blue and a little bit of brown, and it just kind of gives it a darker, earthier tone as opposed to like just the green. See the difference? Mm-hmm. The green's really nice too. It's kind of it has some yellow tint to it, so if you're, certain flowers are going to have that color, so you can keep it that way too. But my personal style, I like to make them all kind of like an olive tone. So kind of find a green that you like. You can add some blues, really nice. And then you're going to take the tip of your brush down to the paper. And I was explaining when I was going over at the table, you're going to want to do kind of like slightly curved lines. When you're doing stems and leaves, you don't really want to do that because it's just not found in nature that way. It's what we tend to want to do, but it's not like that unless you're working with vines. Then you can do it. I'll give you permission if you're doing vines. But you're going to make your stem. You can go over it one more time to darken it if you want to. And then from there, you can do a few lines coming off staggered. I don't do them right next to each other, I kind of stagger them. And you're going to make leaves. So here's the different ones I have. So you can do just a basic leaf. They're just like the petals, except they come to a point. So you're still doing those two C shapes, just slightly curved, just like this. But you're going to do one on each side, and then you're going to come to a point. So this is one type you can do, and then it's kind of nice to leave a little white in between, just like with the flowers. It gives that definition. You can do one right at the top too. You want them all to be similar in shape and size, and kind of going a similar direction. So that's one type of a leaf. If that's a stem of a flower, then you don't have to do quite so many. You can just do, one here, maybe one on the other side, maybe coming out here if you want to get fancy. You can just kind of build where you see fit. So you don't have to have that much. You can if you want to. If you're doing a rose, then you're going to do, or a rose leaf, I guess, because, I can teach you roses too, actually. If you're doing a stem, the leaves for roses, they're pretty much the same except they're jagged. So what I like to do is I like to make the same basic shape, and then I like to just kind of make little points along the side. And that would be a rose. So again, just kind of sharpen the edges a little. If you want to do eucalyptus, then you want to put a little more blue in with your green and lots of water, or just kind of dab your brush off to get a lot of the color off because it's a little lighter. And you would do a round shape. So it wouldn't quite come to that point. the same way. It would be a little fatter, a little more round. That's more of a eucalyptus. You can kind of just widen them a little. Water. Okay. So there's these different things you can practice. I want to also show you the fillers while you're up here so that you can practice those too, and then the next time we come up, so you don't have to keep coming up and down, we can put all the elements together. So for the fillers, what I do is I'll take my color, I'll take either a blue or a yellow are really nice, and I'll just do little berry shapes, maybe a little bit of white in between. I'll dip my brush, put it in the brown or the green, and I go right through the middle and I connect. And that's a different kind of a filler. You could do the same thing with leaves, with like branches. You could do just the brown, and you could do small little kind of branch things coming off, just to give different elements to your bouquet. Any questions on those? Okay. Want to practice?
So you're going to do a rose?
Oh, you want to see a rose? Okay, yes, that's what it was. A rose, if you want to practice this too, you can, let me see, actually I have one that I just did the other day. Did this the other day, and I did these roses. So to do that, it's really simple. Doesn't feel simple at first, I guess. But you're going to use mostly water as your base, kind of whatever your, I guess, let's see, a little color. And in the face. Okay. So rose, you're building those. Remember that the oval shape we made? Mm-hmm. You're kind of doing a circular motion of the petals. So you're just kind of making those, but building on top of each other in a circular way. And then you're going to really punch the color in at the center. So it's real light on the outsides and real thick, and you're just doing these kind of, just imagine like sketching it. You can get as thick as you want. And then you're going to take your color and you're just going to punch it in one spot, like just the center. And then it kind of bleeds. That's the thing about watercolor, is it bleeds and then it creates its own, has a mind of its own. And you can take the thin end and just do little lines, but the roses are circular motion as opposed to petals going out from a center. So that would be your rose. Okay, so practice the different elements that I taught you.